Hey guys, okay, so God is always interested in giving us His perspective of a particular thing. I know most times we feel like God knows this issue, He knows the problem, He knows that thing that I am actually praying for and desiring for, and He should just do it. But see, I got to understand that our definition of a solution is kind of a bit different from God's solution for a particular thing. Our definition of solution is manifestation, and God's definition of solution is revelation. Let me explain. Now, if I'm asking God to grant me a particular amount of money or a particular thing, when these things come to pass, when it is manifested, that is when I feel like the miracle has been done. That is when I feel like I have a miracle. That's when I feel like there is a solution. But you see, when we come to God and He brings you close to Him, teaching you through that process, He doesn't just want you to crave the manifestation. He doesn't just want you to see the end of the manifestation. He wants you to get a revelation that bets manifestation. And so God is going to allow you go through that process and be there with you all through, because He's teaching you something. He wants you to learn consistency. He wants you to be able to learn how to sow. He wants you to be able to learn what to do. I don't know if you understand. Most of the times we just want things to happen. We just want to pray, oh, I need cake, and the cake should just appear. And then God is like, no. I want you to learn the mystery of building. I want you to learn the mystery of making things. So I'm going to make the flour available and all the things necessary in making the cake available for you, so that you learn how to make, so that you learn how to construct, so that you learn how to build. And so God gives us an internal solution. He gives us a solution that we can use over and over again, a process. Every new day that you encounter with Him, every new request that you put is a journey. It's a process. And as much as God wants you to get all this, He also wants you to grow in trusting Him. See, when you get His perspective, you begin to feel like He feels. Things that scares you, they will no longer scare you, because you already have the perspective of God. You already start feeling the way God feels. You begin to see things the way God sees it. I could imagine being part of the children of the Israelites. Like, what? You're acting really? Why? Where are we going to? This is the end game. This is the last stage of all this drama. We're not going to survive this. There is sea in front of us and our enemies at our back, and God was seeing a parted Red Sea. When people were seeing the Red Sea, what God was seeing was plain ground in between. And that moment He told Moses to do that. He could have, I kept asking myself, why didn't He part it before they got there? Like, I just want to know. Like, He could have actually parted it before they got there, and they didn't have to, get to that point where they're like frightened. But He wanted them to see His perspective. He wanted them to see what He was seeing, to feel what He was feeling, to know. He wanted them to get a revelation that God is able to do everything. So even when you're faced with a Red Sea, even when you're faced with a storm, it can be parted. The impossible can happen at that moment. So as much as God is interested in giving you that solution, He also wants you to get the revelation that I am available to do this for you. Not just because you're crying now, but because even when you call on me next time, I will still be available. You just have to understand. You don't need to be scared. You don't need to be frightened. I want us to enjoy the process. Every process. Sometimes we're asking for something and we are being all like impatient. Sometimes enjoy the process. Know that He's teaching you something. Yes, it is when it's when you're not sure that this is God, that is when you begin to panic. When you know He's the one. Learn, follow that journey, follow that process, and learn what He's teaching at that moment.